CME Bantu family, here we are one more time. Um, all Moontus, yeah, the family of the Bantus, the world call us Hebrews. We have here someone today that I will introduce to you. This is Brother Ron Dalton. He wrote the Hebrews to Negroes books. It made him become very, very popular, and he also tried to unite the two sticks for a long time now. He have connections in the land, like also in the diaspora. And let us hit the prayer, and then let us start with our conversation. Tanzambe Mazulu, all praises, Father. Without you, we could do nothing. Father, we love you so much because you're a spirit, you're in us. When someone does not know you, he also does not love because you are love. Father, always treat us like childs. We have different kinds of things that we're doing that is wrong. But forgive us, Father, forgive us all the time because um, we need you. We need you to take our pride. We need you to humbling us. We need you to unite us. We need you to give us your gifts, your strengths, your wisdom. Here we are as one family in Geta. Yeah, brother Ron, how are you doing?
Good. I'm good.
All praises.
I thought you was gonna say Kimbo.
You have been invited into the conversation in the meeting of the people that went to the Congo. You
yeah,
have been.
and yeah, that was in Miami. The it was the kings and chiefs of the Congo, Kivu, Katanga, Kasai, Loango, or I think it's Loango Bay, and the Israelites from Yaoundé, Cameroon, and
Mhm.
Douala. They were there in attendance. So there were Mongo people from the Mongo tribe, Baluba tribe. There was some Kikongo there. Because I asked them what tribe you from. They said Mongo, Baluba, Kikongo, and it was a nice time. We got edified, and there were some things happening in the Congo. I hope that they just stay on it and finish it because what they were telling us was good news in regards to preparations for diasporas to come back
Come
and
over.
to take part in their ancestral land. Yeah.
I think it will work out because the Most High is really doing a lot for us. He's changing a lot of things, and I really think it will work out. Um, Today, we have a very, very special topic. I know that we can find you on Clubhouse, and you're doing a lot of conversations with people all over the continent.
We know
Very, very.
Clubhouse kicked me out.
Oh wow!
They removed my account yesterday.
Oh no!
Yeah, they did. We were talking about Whoopi Goldberg and and what happened with her, and I was explaining the history of the Khazars in Central Asia, and in connection to modern Jewry. And I think that's what made them pissed off because I had a lot of people listening, and I was giving them some in depth knowledge and teachings on connecting the DNA, the language, the history back to Central Asia.
Oh
Yeah,
my goodness! It means you talked about the Ashkenazim.
yeah. Well, Kofi got kicked off too. Kofi's from the Togo. He's from
Oh
Togo.
yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they kicked.
But
They
I thought that this secured this platform. I never knew
Nah,
this
they kicked us both out of Clubhouse, so we can't get back in. We have to create a whole new.
account.
In order to go to Clubhouse, you have to have a whole new phone number and a whole new iCloud address. You got to have a new iCloud address, a new
Oh my
IP address, and a new phone number. So essentially, that's how they keep you from creating another account.
exactly. But you had a lot of followers there, man.
I had almost 2,000 followers, so luckily another phone. I have an old iPhone that I can use. So they
Whoa!
can't they can't stop us.
Mo, you did a great job over there. I used to so many topics. My goodness, you cannot do something like that on YouTube because in Clubhouse it was like so many. Even if you would just catch the audio, and put it on YouTube, you would have a lot of people following because very nice topics and very interesting. Yeah. So today we have also a nice topic for our followers here. We're gonna talk about if black people, or let's say Isolele, the Hebrews, can they make it? Can they survive in the wilderness? Yeah,
They have no choice. There's no choice. There's no choice but to survive the
that's a
wilderness.
good one. They have no choice. This means there's something that is about to come in the future.
Yeah, because you gotta look at the fact that I always say there's four basics of survival, four basic elements that you need for humans to survive, and that's land, because without land you can't build a house on the land. Like if you go try to build a house on somebody else's land, they're gonna say, hey, this is my land. What are you doing here? And so you gotta have land, and you gotta have shelter, which is a house or a tent or a hut, and then you gotta have food, you gotta have water, and you gotta have well, that's four, but then you need clothing and education and health. But those are like secondary. But the main thing is you need shelter, food, water, and clothing. Shelter, food, water, and clothing, because we can't run around butt naked in the elements, because we got to at least have something around our garments. So in that instance, we know that in Africa we can make our own clothes. We know that in Africa that you can plant and you can harvest, you can raise livestock, you can fish, you can hunt, and we know in Africa you can build a house on the land that's available to you, because the people that are possessing the land in Africa, in sub-Saharan Africa, they are the Israelites. So the Israelites possess the land that they are standing on. It's not like the land in the Congo is owned by the white man or owned by the Arab man. It is their land. That's why they can lease it to other people, or they can gift it to other people, or they can tell other people, we have 100 acres aside for you guys. You are children of the diaspora that left many, many years ago through slavery. Come back home. It is your land. It's your ancestral land. It's the land of your forefathers. So just like in the story of the prodigal son left his father's land. His other son stayed back, and when he left the land and I guess went broke and was eating out the same trough as pigs, and he came back, uh, the father got a kid or a goat and said, let's kill it and let's have a celebration. And
Exactly.
the son that was with him, he said, I've been with you all this time, like in the field, toiling and sweating and laboring, and not once did you give me a kid to celebrate with my friends so we could celebrate and eat and drink and be merry. And the father said, well, he said, what I have, what's yours is mine. What I have is what you have is ours. So you're good. He said,
And look at
don't
my
look at it
brother.
like, look at it that your brother that was lost is now back. He's found. And that's how Christ's analogy gives an analogy of if you have 100 sheep and you count 99 and one of them is gone, when you find that one of the sheep and you get it back with the other 99, you're going to rejoice because your sheep is now found. And so
Look, Elder,
that's the
the,
same analogy with us, the Israelites. We
all,
got to.
all, all Africa is welcoming their brethren from the four corners of the earth.
Mhm.
It's the government. It's the government. The government don't want us.
Yep.
They're so scared. They're so scared that some people come over and take over.
Hmm.
Like bring some things to the light. Like you're showing us the good side about this country, but look at the bad side now. Oh, no one knows it. I do not know in South Africa xenophobia. I do not know in Angola the streets are messed up. I do not know in Ghana this and this. That's why all the Ghanaians are fleeing to Europe. They don't want
Hmm.
to show that. But
Yep.
now the diaspora is coming and saying, "Look, I came with I came from the Muzungus. I came from the white people. I come home. I want to establish something at home. I want to live, okay, and I have a standard that I will bring with me, because I have learned, study or whatever, and I have a standard. I have a degree. So, and they're like, oh, that guy can be crazy. That guy can be dangerous. But this is exactly why we need a new governmental leadership, and it's coming. The
Mm-hmm.
Most High is working on it. Yeah, but we know development is good, but there's two things that is happening now here. One thing, the white man is going to Africa and trying to rebuild Africa, but for himself,
Mm-hmm.
which means I'd will to give you peace and take a lot. But the
Mm-hmm.
scriptures are saying in Isaiah 60 that they will come with tips from Tarsus, Lebanon, and everywhere, and bring our gold back and our children back. And where their kings do not do what we want, war will come against them, and the white man will work for the black man as slaves, which means they're trying to build Africa for themselves, but at last, everything that they are building will become ours. This is
Mm-hmm.
one thing. And another thing is that the Tatanzambi, or the Most High, will also start destroying everything that they're building, and the wilderness would start coming, and we start fleeing to some places. And there, in those places, we have to know how to survive. Both are very interesting things, okay, and both are have truth in it, because that what is happening now is that every white person is not investing no more in China. He's investing now in Africa because China is a superpower. You don't want to give more money into superpower. Yeah, European would never do. American would never do. Okay, so the only people that would do this maybe is Russia, but the Russians themselves, they want influence in Africa and power in Africa. So everyone is searching. If Africa is not so important, why are all they fighting for Africa? All of them are in Africa. So we are important people. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so now the other truth is, while they are building in Africa, Africa is also getting wiser, and they're saying you can't do anything without the people, the local people, which
Mm-hmm.
means which means the people, our people from the diaspora, need the right partners over there to take over and to start selling it to white people, because white people need Africa anyway to survive. Without Africa, white people or Chinese or whatever color they have or whatever where they used to come from, they can't survive.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the other philosophy from our forefathers are, you guys will go, water will come from everywhere, from the south, from the east, from the west, from the north, and it will also take over all the lands in America, Southern America. It will hit China and all these kinds of things. Metroid. But then you have to flee to the mountains. And now we are going to this part to say, can black people in this moment, I know from white people here in Angola, if you see them in the flight and you're asking them where do you go, they will tell you we're not going to the city. We are going to the wilderness, living there. We have our farm there. They have their workers there, cows. They live like kings and queens over there. But can a black person live like that? Because we can see it from Southern Africa. The people that used to do farming there are white farmers. In Angola, white farms everywhere. In Tanzania, my goodness. In Uganda, okay, which means where can you see black people living in the wilderness, having solar panels, having they know where the water comes from, the cow looks fat and not tinny, all those kinds of things. So, Elder, what do you say?
Well, one of the things we have to realize in America is that we can't own land in America because of property taxes. Um, Everybody in America knows that without paying your property taxes, uh, they'll take your land from you and the house that sits on the land. So automatically in America, you are subjected to working because you need money, because money is what's going to pay the property taxes. In United Kingdom, it's called the council tax. And so, and if you try to sell your house, depending on if you got a capital gains tax, or in United Kingdom, you might have to pay a certain tax on if you sell your house early or late. These are all traps that the British Crown keeps people in, and not understanding that they truly have no ownership in the country that they live in. And the majority of the farmland in America It's owned by the Gentiles. It's owned by Caucasians and foreign investors and Bill Gates and the Chinese, and they're willing to pay top dollar and sometimes 2 to 3 times the value of the land just so they could say we own the land now. We own the water rights. We own the land rights. We own the farming land. We own residential land. We own everything. And so the last place on earth that the black man, the Israelite, can say that he has land that's been given to him and his ancestors through God, through Abraham, is in the continent of Africa. We just don't see the big picture yet because we think that everything in America that we see as development in cities is always going to be there forever. We think that Walmart and the grocery store is always going to be there. So when we look at the TV, and the TV says there's a snowstorm coming tomorrow, it's going to bring 12 inches of snow. Well, everybody goes to the neighborhood grocery store because they're thinking there's going to be a shut-in because of the snow, and you go there. If you go there late in the day, you'll see the eggs are gone. You'll see the chicken's gone, the turkey's gone, the beef is gone. Certain things in the grocery store is gone because people have raided the grocery store just because of one day that there's going to be a snow out. So imagine if there's a huge crisis in America where there's going to be no access to the grocery store for months. The grocery store won't be able to feed you, and if the trucks stop running and delivering the goods to the grocery store can't fill the shelves, so the shelves will stay empty. So if you're sitting at home,
One thing,
mhm.
look at the chaos at the moment in the West, and the Most High is saying it will become more worse. Look at the chaos, the snow and the water coming from all ways. There's a map that normally I would like to show you here. You will see all the earthquakes passing Africa. All the earthquakes is passing Africa, but it's hitting everywhere. Peru, it's hitting China, it's hitting Japan, it's everywhere, but it's passing Africa like that. You can go now, everyone that is listening, Google earthquakes maps. Nothing is hitting Africa, not one. So, what will happen in 1 or 2 years? Look at the weather now. Last year we had in Texas, my friend shot a photo. You had an ice wall on his in his room. The room was split in two. Everything was shut down. He was like, Massa. He run away now. He's now in. He went to Gambia. Now he's in Cameroon somewhere. Yeah. So, this is what is happening.
Yeah.
So yeah. You know more. So go
Well,
ahead.
yeah. Florida's weather right now is like in the 40s, like 40, 45, 49 degrees. And, depending on how low the temperature gets, the crops can't withstand cold weather for a couple of days. The crops will be done with. And we got to understand, like, I actually got a chance to see a Navy veteran, U.S. Navy. And he showed me a map of America, future America. And the map that he showed me, the Texas was underwater, Louisiana was underwater, I think Mississippi or Alabama was underwater, Florida was all underwater, the east coast of America was underwater, California and the coast of the west coast was underwater, and that is what they're predicting. The U.S. Navy is predicting in the future America's going to be underwater, a good part of it. And that's not even to talk about the earthquakes and food shortages and the lack of jobs and the lack of money, and increase in violence. It's also going to be a housing shortage where people are going to want to buy houses and it's going to be slim pickings. People are going to want to rent, but they're not going to be able to rent because there's not a lot of houses that you're going to be able to rent because it's going to be a shortage on the market. So people are going to use that advantage to charge higher prices for their rent. And if you're looking for a house to rent and you see all the houses are $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month, and you desperately need a place to stay, then you might have to pay that extra ticket to rent the house if you qualify. So there's a lot of things that's happening right now in the world that people are not paying attention to. Inflation's happening. I think Turkey is seeing an increase of 49% in inflation. So inflation means the price of goods in Turkey is rising. So that means that if your paycheck is staying the same, that if you go to the grocery store in Turkey or go anywhere, that the price of the goods is more money. So now you're getting less for your buck. This is happening in America right now. The inflation is seen in the grocery store. A pack of meat at Costco's or somewhere could cost you $50. When before it cost you $20. So we're seeing that as we have decreased pay, decreased employment, rising bills, rising costs of goods and services, that people are steady dealing with it. They're not thinking of what we need to do long term. Do we need to stay in America? Do we need to leave? Because people are thinking that as long as I stay in America, I can continue to have a job. I can continue. I continue to have a job, and I continue to support myself. But we got to really understand at the end of the day, in the future, we will need to be somewhere where we can feed ourselves, we can live in housing where we're not worried about, is the landlord going to evict me after 3 days not paying my rent? People. There's some people that if they didn't pay their rent in 3 days, if they're late, just 3 days, they get an eviction notices in the mail from the courthouse, and so this is a lot of stress and pressure on the American people, especially Black people who are the minority and who are typically in the poverty line. So when you go to Africa, and like you said, they show you xenophobia. They show you coups, different coups happening in Guinea, and they show you, it's a rise in violence in Ghana. It's a rise in violence here. It's violence over here. It's crime in South Africa. It's crime over here. Well, we got crime in America. I mean, what's new? We got Black people killing Black people in Chicago, Detroit, in California, New York City. Guns is all over the place in America, and Black people ain't scared to use it. So by showing on TV, it's some violence in Ghana, somebody robbed me at gunpoint, somebody broke into my house and stole a computer or whatever. Well, that's going to happen. If it's not already happening in America, which it is, that's going to happen in America as well, especially in areas where you see a majority Black population, a Latino population. Crime is going to increase as things get harder in America, and we're not realizing, yeah, and that's and what'd you say?
These are all the places where the earthquakes is hitting, but nothing in Africa.
Yeah, even the pandemic seems to not affect Africa. The pandemic is slamming the West, the European countries, and United States of America, and other countries. But in Africa, scientists are baffled. They're like, well, how come Africa is not, getting COVID like they're supposed to? They have less access to vaccines. They're not wearing a mask. Some people are closely confined in tight cities where people are right next to one another. Everybody's not sanitizing their hands when you go into a facility, but yet the COVID infection rate is low in Africa. And if they do get COVID, they're fine. It's like a regular cold. And they have the treatment in Africa. They have ivermectin, they have hydroxychloroquine, they have the sun, they have vitamin D. Vitamin D is on a whole nother level because vitamin D has been seen in Israeli studies to help combat COVID-19. But if you're always in the sun because you're in the land of the sun, your vitamin D level should be off the roof. So there's a lot of benefits that Africa has for its people, for the children of Israel. We just don't see it. And like you said, South African had so much farmland after the apartheid. You're like, wow, these guys are smart. Why are they doing all this? Well, because they know that farming is important. Because if you are a farmer, then you control. And if agriculture is a big thing in Africa. 2/3 of the economy of the local person in Africa is they're using agriculture to make money. So you go to the market, you see people selling this, selling that. They're selling meat, they're selling fish, they're selling grains, they're selling fruits and vegetables, produce, and of course they sell goods and different little knickknacks. But at the end of the day, without agriculture, the people in these countries and cities and towns, they can't eat unless you import the food from another nation, which they like to do all as well. Like they like to set up stores like in Cameroon, it's owned by the French, and they start importing food from other countries so they can get rich and sell the food to the people in Africa. When the people in Africa already have the land to grow all the food you need.
Okay,
It's right there.
I want to say something. Um, sometimes we used to watch television. I was all the time in Germany. I used to watch television with my family. Then you have in the Congo somewhere a school, and they have no table. They have no maps where you can write. They have no chairs. But do you know that a white person would start building those kinds of things, you have wood there, you have every material there that you need to create your own chair, your own table, to create your own maps or whatever what you need, So in Africa, when it comes to the Musa, he's saying, my people are dying because of lack of knowledge. Okay. There are some things, that we are doing and we are begging for, oh, white person, help us, or whatever. What did the Most High not give us? We have everything that you can imagine. Okay. If we would say to the Europeans or the Chinese, give us China like it is, and you take Africa, the first thing what he would do, he would build a wall. He would say, go take it. And in 2 years, you would see Africa will become the next China. Okay. What is happening here is that the majority in the land, the majority of the people in the land, they need informations. They have to learn. You know, it's not about religion only, but it's really about learning different kinds of words, different kinds of you know, learning different kinds of things that are important for us. To survive. We have different kinds of stones under the earth. Okay, but when you say what you're gonna do with these stones, or for what are they good? No one knows. No one knows. But the white man will be like, I need these stones because I will use it for my mobile phone. I will use it for my for my train. I will use it for my plane. But the black man will be like, oh, okay, just a stone. I can't eat. You see, this is one of the biggest problem that we have now. We have only a few people that can tell you, okay, let me do agriculture. We need this, 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 this. You have to study those things. It's important to go to school and to bring some skills with you. Okay, this is where the white person is taking advantage from us, because there are some things I don't attack my people in the land, because I know that they shut us off from having internet. They shut us off from having the communication with the people in the West. They shut us off from having the righteous school system and all those kinds of things. But for us in the diaspora, because we are the one that's going to come to build the land, we are the one that are supposed to learn certain things and to bring it to the land. It's very important for us to know also, if someone drops you somewhere in the wilderness, yeah, what do you need? What can you do? There was a movie, Robinson Crusoe or something like that, a very old movie. That guy, that white dude, he survived in the wilderness. He had not even clothes. He knew how to make his clothes. He started building his stuff. This is how it is. But I tell you, many of our people that are here today, listening to Lil Wayne, they have the fancy phones, fancy cars. You drop him somewhere in the wilderness, 2 days ago, you see him already looking like a monkey, now he became a monkey. But normally he should become like Tarzan, like tall, and look at me, I know how to survive. And this is where we go. People has to start learning. Okay, this is something we there's some things that we have to look at. The most of the white people, if they are in Africa, they are not even living in the city. They're not important. It's not important for them living in the city. They're going somewhere where no one is. They start building there. They start building there. No one disturbs them. The government, not even the government. The government does not even try to go to those places. And this is a fact. And me, if I go there and look at the huts and stuff like that, the Beulah land looks good for a village. But I'm sometimes thinking, okay, you guys, you have seen something from the capital here and there. You can copy some things. You can bring some development in those places. You see? And this is what we need now. How can we survive in those places? How can we do agriculture, having our goats, our sheep, having horses, very important. We have to know how to do our soap. Okay, We have to know how to use our wood, how to use our stones. It's very important. If not, it doesn't make any sense to come over or whatever. Stay in the West and just wait for the judgment.
Mm-hmm.
Stay in the West and wait for the judgment. Let me read some scriptures before you continue.
Yeah.
I want to show something. Okay, let me share. Okay, we're going to the book that is called Habakkuk 2. And here it says, the righteous shall live by his faith, right? He said, and Tatanzambi answered me, write the vision, make it plain on tables, so he may run who reads it. For still the vision awaits its appointed time. It hastens to end, it will not lie. If it seems slow, wait for it. It will surely come. It will not delay. Behold, his soul is puffed up. It is not upright within him, but the righteous shall live by his faith. Moreover, wine is a traitor, arrogant man who is never at rest. His greed is as wide and Sheol. Like death, he has never enough. He gathers for himself all nations, collected as his own all people. Whom to the Chaldeans, okay, shall not all this take up account against him, with scoffing and riddles for him, and say, woe to him who heaps up what is not his own, for how long, and loads himself with pledges? Will not your debtors suddenly arise, and those awake who will make you tremble? Then you will be spoiled for them, because you have plundered many nations, and all the remnant of the people shall plunder you. For the blood of the man and violence of the earth to the cities, and all of them who dwell in them, whom to him who gets evil gain for his house, to set his nest on high, to be saved from the reach of harm. So you have devised shame for your house by cutting off many people. You have forfeited your life. From the stone you will cry out, from the wall, and the beam from the woodwork respond. So this is what the Bible says about those countries where we are living into now.
When you look at we look at Genesis 15:13, it talks about the 400 years, and it says that after 400 years, that your people will be in a land that is not theirs, and then after the 400 years, you should come out of this land, and the nation that you serve, I will judge, and you will come out with great substance. In the Hebrew, we read our English Bible, it says substance, and in the Hebrew, the word is actually a derivative of what it means to gather and acquire and collect property. So the Bible is saying that when we come out of America, that we would have great substance, meaning that we will gather and collect and acquire property and land. Even when you look at Ezekiel 38, where it says that people are going to be dwelling in peace, rest, and safety, gathered out of the nations, dwelling and assembled in the midst of the land, people that have acquired cattle and goods, or people that have cattle and goods. The word that we see for goods in the English Bible is actually a word that it signifies to collect or to acquire or to possess property or land. So it's telling you in Ezekiel 38 that the Israelites in the wilderness are going to have livestock. They're going to have, of course, the land that the livestock can graze on and feed on. They're going to have, fowl like chickens and hens. They're going to have silver and gold, which the Bible says is in the Bible in Ezekiel 38. There is a word for wealth and riches, but in that particular scripture, it's referring to minerals like silver and gold. We know that in Africa, there's a lot of mining of gold and silver in the Congo, in Tanzania, in Ghana, in South Africa. Gold and silver mines are in Africa. Gold and silver mines are not something that's an everyday normal thing in America or in Israel. we also have to understand that when we are coming back to the wilderness, we as the Israelites, we are going to acquire and possess land, property, which has already been promised to us through Abraham, to from God. So all these things point to the fact that America is not the land that we're supposed to be in. And then when we come out of America, we can then eventually start to learn how to live in the wilderness. Because right now, living in Minnesota, living in Minneapolis, living in Detroit, living in Chicago, living in New York City, living in Baltimore, Maryland, Washington D.C., even living in Miami, most Black people are not going to learn how to survive in the wilderness. They're not going to learn how to build a farm, how to create a farm, how to have horses and cows and sheep and goats and hens and chickens and roosters. They're not going to know how to acquire water. They're not going to know how to build a house in these areas. This is the way the system is set up for us in America. But when we get to Africa, then we can start connecting with those that have these skills, and then we can share our knowledge of what we've learned in white America with those that are in Africa, those that are more connected to the land and know how to deal with the land, know about the herbs and the different plants and roots that you can use in the herbs for medicine. Know where you can get good water from that's not tainted. All these different things. Know what good soil is like, and where's the best place to plant and harvest. All these things we can find out and learn once we get back to the continent, but we cannot learn these things in America, because in America, they don't want you to learn these things. They set the system up so you don't learn these things. The kids in school, they don't learn that carrots and lettuce and potatoes and corn comes from the earth. They just know mom and daddy goes to the grocery store to get this stuff. So if you ask a kid, where does potatoes come from? They will say from the grocery store. If you ask them, where do strawberries come from? The grocery store. If you ask them, where do bananas come from? The kids are going to say the grocery store. If you ask most of the kids in Detroit, where did these things come from that mom and daddy feeds you? They're going to say the grocery store. They're not going to know that it comes from the ground. For a Black kid to actually see the stuff,
especially if you tell them it comes from Africa, they will say, "No way! From Africa, we have only the baddest things coming from that."
Exactly. Like I said, when I was in Africa, I seen goats and sheep, hens and chickens just running around wild. I was sitting down just eating at a restaurant, and I seen chickens walking around. I said, I want some chicken to eat," and they were like, "Okay." And I looked and see the chicken walking right past my table. And so when I went to another restaurant, I had some goat, and I just on the way to the restaurant, I seen the whole gang of goats was walking down the street. I was like, so it's not a shortage of goats. It's not a shortage of hens and chickens. It's not a shortage of roosters. It's not a shortage of cows. It's not a shortage of food in Africa. There's food's all over the place. It's just that the fact of the matter is, like you said, agriculture. Like a lot of people, when they graduate from college, high school or college, they want to go into those degrees that make a lot of money. You want to be a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer. They want to be an architect. They want to be this. But the art of farming, agriculture, is something that we should never lose, because that is what the white man has.
Building houses, agriculture, being a doctor, just knowing the being a normal doctor, lawyers. We need all of them. We need someone who knows how to do electronic stuffs. We have to know someone who knows how to develop the earth. We need what was Isaiah's work?
Which one? Like
He
what?
and his father. What did he work? They had a job.
You mean like a carpenter?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Need a carpenter. Exactly. So you need these kinds of job, these kinds of works. These are the works that we actually need.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, brother, if you are in the wilderness, yeah, you don't need a rapper. Okay. You don't need a showmaker. You don't really need a pastor over there. You have to survive. There's some experiments that white people did. What kind of people, what kind of work do you need for, what kind of class of people do you need to survive? Yeah, if the whole world is destroyed, and this is what they are doing right now. They are selecting people. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
they're selecting people. It's there in the Golden Gate Stone or whatever. They're selecting people. Exactly. Who do we need here in this earth? We don't need everyone. So, yeah. Let us see what you have said in the Bible. Let us see. This is Amos 9. It says, "For behold, I will command and shake the house of Israel among all nations, as one shakes with a sieve. But no people shall fall to the earth. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, who say disaster shall not come and overtake or meet us." Which means the most of the people in the diaspora that say nothing will come. We were gonna stay in like our people stayed in Egypt. Egypt was destroyed and still today is no more found. Okay, there's many people who left in Egypt, and all of
Mm-hmm.
them after that was killed, destroyed. But those
Mm-hmm.
who will come out of it, come out of it when the righteous time is. I don't say now because I know that many people sometimes things that we are saying come now. No, this is a complete other thing. This is a complete other topic. I know Brother Ron was talking about it very, very often on his on the clubhouse and all these kinds of things. But we know that the Tanzania definitely will find a way to bring our people out. And I know that the second Exodus must happen. But anyway, this is the restoration. This is where we are today. The restoration of Israel. And we are not talking about the Middle East. It is already restored, right? In that day will I raise up booth of David. I hate this translation. This is just so thank you. So this is much better. Amos 9 restoration. It starts from where? Here.
Yeah.
All praises. In that day will I raise the tabernacle of Dawidi. So this is better. That is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and will build it as in the day of old, that they may possess the remnant of Edom and of all the heathen which are called by my name. Yeah, say Tatanzambi does it. Behold, the day come, says Tatanzambi, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper, and the treader of grapes him that sows seed. And the mountains shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt. And I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel, and they shall build the waste cities and inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards and drink the wine thereof. They shall also make gardens and eat the fruit of them, and I will plant them upon their land, and they shall no more pull up out of their land, which I have given them, saith Tatanzambi Yamazu.
Wow. What was that? Amos 9.
Yeah, Amos 9.
I'm gonna use that in my brother thought.
You see?
That was good.
He says everything what you have said already. It's
Mm-hmm.
everything is written. So this is what is happening. So this is why when you have children in the West, you have to teach them about where our forefathers came from. Father, I want to be a musician. Yeah, I saw Chris Brown dancing. No, no, my son, learn gardenings, learn how to work with wind energy or with water energy, learn how to work with solar energy or whatever, something that can be helpful, okay, for the people of Israel. We need those people. Can you imagine me, myself, my team? We're searching for people to do agriculture.
Mm-hmm.
Muzungu, when we say Muzungu to come over to help us, he charges $7,000 each month. Can you imagine who have this money? Only to start commanding our people in the forest, do this, carry this, do this. He's starting $7,000 each month.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you know, we need help here. We need professional people here. And we have YouTube. There are some people that can start now from YouTube learning. Do you know those people who building houses with bamboos? Did you ever watch them? See them?
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at those people. Bamboo with mud. You can build housings. But when you see to Congo, Gambia, Cameroon, and all these places, they cannot even do a chair for a child to sit and go to be there in the classroom to learn. They can't. And do we want to blame the white man for that? That you cannot even, put put something together so that you can survive. This is when we have some people, our own people, they are they are professional, they are clarified for certain works. We don't have to go to the white man, but we at this moment we have to go to him and beg, hey, can you come and build our housings in the forest? And he's like, with his antenna, you like, ding! Massa is building houses in the west somewhere, and they all of them know. Now we have to send our satellites there because these people are going out to this direction. Let us send some people over there and see what they're really doing and take over these places now. But if we take one of our people, and he knows the same work like the white people, he knows this work. He also gets his payment. We are secured. But where are those people? Where can we find those people? Who is willing, to build the land like it's written in Amos 9?
The waste places.
The waste places. It's
the desolate
wasted.
places.
The
desolate. The place where nobody wants to be at.
No one wants to be there. No.
Because you got to look at the population density. Population density is usually around the big cities. You go to Kampala, you go to Kinshasa, you go to Accra, you go to Cape Coast, you go to Nairobi. You're going to see the population density of that country is going to be centered around the big cities. It's because everybody wants to have the internet. They want to have the nice roads. They want to have all the fancy buildings and the stores and the grocery stores. They want to have everything like the West. But the Bible tells us about the waste places and the desolate places that will be inhabited. So it's basically saying that right now it's not a lot of people there, but they will in one day be inhabited.
Always, if they have some problems, they're fleeing to the mountains. They're fleeing to the wilderness. Always, if something happens, all of them start fleeing to the wilderness. This happens all the time. And when everything is good again, they're coming from the wilderness, and everyone wants to live in the city. Now you have all the cities, like look at Kinshasa. It's full of people, and look at the conditions.
Look, it's like Lagos. Like Lagos too.
Lagos the same. Yeah, you will find people living in the worst conditions, in the city. But if you go to the villages, you will see people healthy. They have their fishes. They have their farm. They have everything over there. Look at the videos that I made with our brothers and sisters that came from America and England and all those things. There are some people, okay, the children here and there. But if you look at the mothers, the women, they're nice. They're looking pretty. They're looking exactly the same like the people in the city as well. Okay? So, and their children, they're fat and they have muscles you can't imagine. So strong people that we can use, okay? We can use for work, to do some things. So we need some smart people over here. And the only thing what we are thinking on is, how can we be like the West? How can we, we want to live like the West. We want to be like the West, but we have to start thinking different now. What can we do for us? Okay, what did the Most High really say in his scriptures? How can we hate a place so much, but all the white people are coming and going there? You can take a flight right now. Okay, you will see 2 or 3 black people on the flight, and the rest are Chinese, people from Lebanon, people from the Middle East, people from the Americas. What do you do in Africa? Yeah, I have my businesses going on there. You're not African. Yeah, but hey, man, okay, it just came from Cape Town. It was nice over there. I just fly here to Angola. You have to see the bus full of the Arabs.
Really?
Okay? Really?
Wow.
Hey, brother, everyone that flies to Africa will tell you the flights are full of Gentiles.
Wow.
Brother, during this pandemic, they built something in Senegal, like something with the train. In Cote d'Ivoire, they're buying land everywhere. Yeah, Amazon, Google. All these people are buying land. They're building houses in Africa. In this moment, they're buying forests. They're buying rivers. And people are, oh, Africa is garbage. Everyone knows that Africa won't stay like it is. It is a promise to the most that the Most High gave the people of Israel. You can't build something that is already built. And the people in Africa, um, why did they go to China? First of all, they went to China. They invested in China all the time by forgetting that the Chinese, he himself is a copy. But they invested, everyone, European, Americans, everything. iPhone came from China. Your laptops came from China. Your clothing came from China. Everything came from China. And still today, China is feeding the world. When the pandemic started, it was China feeding Italy, feeding Portugal, feeding Spain. The European had no money to feeding those people.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Relief
now,
money.
exactly. So what's going on here is that they are the superpower today, not America. They are the superpower today. China, what did they do? They took all the knowledge, yeah, what the West gave them, and they copied it, and they made it even better somewhere and cheaper. Okay, so now today, if he wants to work with the Chinese is too expensive. Okay, how much will a Chinese cost? He won't cost the same like he cost yesterday. A Chinese, you have to give him now much more money, yeah, than before for working for you, but not in Africa. And Africans still cost $5 a day. Okay, so me with my company, with my construction company, I have the material in Africa for free, mostly because I don't have to ship it somewhere and pay all the import export blah blah blah. I built my a company in Africa. I have the African people that I pay $5 in the day. They are working for me for this. So everything goes to Africa, if we want or not. The same thing what happened to China. It's the same thing that would happen now in Africa. The other thing is what we have to know. We are talking about superpowers fighting against each other. The West, America, we saw it with Donald Trump and all this kind. With Donald Trump, we can see it with Europe. Europe saying we never can leave Africa. France is saying Africa, when we lose Africa, we're losing everything. The presidents are saying it like this today. They do not even hide. Yeah, and the same thing. The same thing is that all these superpowers, they are against China because China is doing exactly the same that America is doing or the West is doing: fishing, taking the golds, the treasures, buying land, doing the agriculture, producing weapons, producing electronic stuff. Okay, going and having corporations with Africa. So everyone wants something from the cake. Where's the problem here? The problem is that one country will never allow the other country to take over. Yeah, so they will do everything to challenge Huawei, to challenge everything from China. Like China will also do everything, or Russia, to challenge everything from America. So there is a war going on that the most of us do not even know, because we're just living. We just wear the Gucci clothes, we just wear the Nikes, so we just buy the computers. We just live. But what is really going on here, how they used to take from Mother Africa, people that do not understand in this. This is the truth behind the truth. So
Yeah.
important is Africa now for the world.
Yeah. Yeah. I got about 5 to 10 minutes left. I got another meeting.
No problem, brother Ron. Do you want to say something about it?
Um, Yeah, so we're planning on relocating to Africa this year. Um, I'm keeping it kind of under the radar because like you said, they're watching us. They got their antennas and they agents on YouTube and Instagram and Clubhouse trying to figure things out, trying to figure out what these guys they're trying to fulfill biblical prophecy. Where are they going? Which country are they going to? Are they going to Ghana? Are they going to Zambia? Are they going to Cameroon? Are they going to Angola? Are they going to Tanzania? Are they going to Namibia or Botswana or Lesotho? Where are they going? They want to know, but we're not gonna let them have it that easy. But when we get there, best believe we will let you guys know we're in the motherland. It's time to do work, and just like how we're doing Zooms and StreamYards,
We're
uh,
gonna work together.
we go.
But
Hey, we go. Hey, you already know it's about to go down. It's the people. The people are waiting. They're waiting for this. They're waiting for the forerunners and the leaders, and those that are putting forth the effort and the fruit and the works and the sacrifice because at the end of the day, Israel always needed a leader. They always needed direction, either from a king, either from a prophet, either from the Most High, either from the elders. They always look to somebody to kind of guide them and teach them and tell them what to do. As an Israelite people, I mean, even when they were at the base of Mount Sinai, they were like just sitting around waiting, and the Lord descended upon the mountain in a cloud, or they heard thunder, and they was like Moses. That's Moses talking to God right now. Listen to the thunder, and Joshua and all these guys. They got the direction from the leaders. So now is the time for many of the leaders to start rising up and stepping up. And we got people on the continent, in various countries, and they understand very clearly the scriptures, as we mentioned, the waste places, the desolate places that are not really inhabited, but they will be inhabited in the future. These are the areas that the Most High has set apart for our people, and it's time to start waking up to these things because the Gentile nations, they got their eye on a lot of things too. Of course, they want to make money in the cities. They want to make money off the hydroelectric power, the solar power, and the minerals in the ground, the cobalt and the manganese, and all these different things for the chips and the computers and the satellites and the missiles. But we know at the end of the day, what the Most High has promised to us is for our survival in the end. So really, at the end of the day, it's all a part of God's perfect plan. So what the Mzungus or the Gentiles are doing, they're doing it for their own agenda and gain and purpose. But in the end, you'll see that it's all going to turn around for God's perfect plan in regards to the cards. But
Isaiah 14,
yep, for the Israelites.
exactly. All praises, yeah. Um, I think we're gonna see you very soon. Open a new clubbers, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Try not to say everything because you know how it is,
yeah.
we have I still wish, still today I wish that one black person comes with a big page where all of us, can say whatever we wants to say.
Well, I think they got fan base, but I don't know. I haven't been on fan base yet. That's a black owned. It's like Clubhouse, but I don't know exactly all the rules and guidelines of fan base,
Mm.
and maybe that's just an all black social media platform similar to Clubhouse that people are using right now because Clubhouse is starting to be a little censor like. It's kind of like YouTube, but not like YouTube. You can say certain things on Clubhouse, but then they'll somebody will report you and get you kicked off. And you definitely know on YouTube certain things you can't say, otherwise you'll wake up one day and your channel's gone.
Mm.
You'll be
No.
like, "Why my channel gone?" And it's because you said something that was too much for them.
So the thing is, like Brother Ron has said, yeah, you need a genes in the West, and you need also a genes in the land. Yeah, okay, which means that brother Ron, when he comes over, he will check the land, he will check here and there because he has a huge family. He will do that what he have to do to put a foundation, huh? And then he will start moving step by step to that what the Most High have told him to do. He's not doing it because he wants to do it just for fun, but he have the intention. He have it. This is what he does. The Most High have called him for this. Okay, uh, you know, to bring people over, to work, to bring the two sticks together, and that's why Massa does not talk with everyone, but this Mister here, he's a good one. So, Brother Ron, you can say bye-bye to the people. And
Yeah. So shalom or salama. I think that's how you say it. Salamba.
exactly,
Salama.
salam.
Tatanazami Yamazulu. Yengeta. Kimbo. Glory. Whatever. I've been
All
listening.
praise.
I've been listening to the Congo, the conference at the Congo. They were saying that all day long. The Kimbo, Ingeta,
All
Matondo,
praise.
Tondo. I was listening, like, okay, I'm learning some Congo now, whatever.
All praise.
But yeah. So, um, it's been a while since we've been on the YouTube together, but we'll do it again, and hopefully I can share the same video on my YouTube channel for my followers, so people can see that we are connecting the two sticks, the brethren. It's a brethren. It's a family
Like
affair.
always.
Angola, Congo, Bantu, the Israelites, the diaspora. It's time to come back home. The two sticks become one.
Hallelujah. Stay there 1 minute, Brother Ron. Someone wants to talk to you 1 minute.